Assalamu alaikum, my name's Ayoub and I'm a recent graduate of Triple E from Imperial. In the previous video we talked about the importance of building good habits, and in order to do so we need to manage and plan our time effectively. Now you might be asking yourself, why do I need to manage my time? I've done just fine without doing so. If there is one universal truth, it's that time cannot be recovered once it's gone. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears by time in Surah Al-Asr to draw attention to the importance of time. He says, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. By time, indeed man is in a constant state of loss. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. He qualifies that statement and says, except those who believe and do good and join together in righteousness and patience. Now why is that? It's because when you do so, you're investing in your future. You're investing in dunya and akhirah, and you're not wasting your time. If we are not careful, it is very easy to waste our time. In this day and age, there are a lot of factors competing for our time. There is social media, there's TV, there's our phones, there's our studies, family, friends, our other responsibilities and commitments, and we think we have a lot of time to accommodate all of that. And we are deceived by that, and that's what the Prophet ﷺ mentioned in the hadith. نِعْمَتَانِ مَغْبُونٌ فِيهِمَا كَثِيرٌ مِّنَ النَّاسِ. Two blessings a lot of people are deceived by. الصحة والفراغ, good health and free time. So in order to utilize our time more efficiently and more effectively, we need to plan and manage our time. So how do we plan? Not everything works for everyone, but we'll cover a few tips and guidelines that will help you come up with what works best for you. Firstly, and most importantly, is put in the time to make a good plan. A good and well thought out plan will end up saving you a lot of time in the future. And your plan needs to be comprehensive. It needs to encompass and include everything, including your breaks, including your studies, including your socializing time, and even your sleep. A useful acronym to think about when planning your time is SMART, S-M-A-R-T. There are a few variations for SMART, but we'll focus on the one relevant to time management. S for specific. You need to clearly lay out what needs to be done. General plans and goals actually end up wasting your time. So if you plan to become good at maths, what does that mean? What do you need to do to become good? Be more specific. And then M for measurable. Your goals and targets need to be measurable, something you can track and measure yourself and assess yourself against. So good was not very measurable, but if I say I want to learn 5 differentiation rules, that's something I can track and measure. And then A for attainable. Be ambitious and be optimistic, but more importantly, be realistic. Make sure that whatever you're planning is something that is actually doable. So for example, doing 20 problem sheets a day is probably not going to happen. And then R for relevant. Relevant to what? Relevant to your life objectives, relevant to your priorities, relevant to different criteria based on the context. So if I want to succeed at my maths class, setting a time plan to study the history of cars is probably not going to help. And finally, T for time specific. No plan is complete without having specific times and deadlines to complete your plan by. When do I want to learn differentiation? Is it by the end of next week, or by the end of next month, or whenever I feel like it? Be time specific. Another very important point is that you and your plan should be flexible. Planning your time should give you direction and structure, but it should not constrain you. Make sure you add things like regular breaks. Working for 25 minutes followed by a 5-minute break is a lot more productive than working for 3 hours straight. More on that in our next video. Add things like positive reinforcement. Meeting friends later in the evening will help you and help your brain work through the day. The most important thing is that time planning is something you're implementing in your life. How exactly you do that is just a means, and the tips and guidelines we've covered should help you find what works best for you. I know people who allocate every single hour of their day, and that's how they stay productive. Others just specify what they need to have done by the end of the day and add that element of flexibility, and that works for them. The way I plan my week is I look at what tasks I need to do over the week, and I look at the days and I allocate the tasks to the days based on time available, priorities, and urgency. For example, I need to finish reading a book, I need to run a few errands, I need to meet a friend. Then I slot reading the book on Monday, running the few errands on Wednesday, and meeting my friend on Friday. And finally, in order to manage your time more effectively, you need to be organized and set a system in place. Make it a habit to write things down to avoid clogging your brain or causing you stress or forgetting important things. Keep a physical or virtual diary or tasks checklist to keep track of your plans and goals. There is a positive psychological effect to having a tasks checklist and crossing out things that you've completed. Make sure whatever system you put in place is simple and easy to use so you can actually stick with it and it doesn't become too tedious over time. Make sure you update it regularly, daily or weekly, to keep track of your plans and goals and to measure your progress and adapt accordingly if things take less or more time than anticipated. There are many apps out there that you can use to manage your time and to plan your tasks, some of which are in the description below. Find one that fits your needs. In conclusion, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put barakah in our time and allow us to use our time more effectively and more efficiently. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.